Hi, I'm Jennifer Evans-Cario, the president of Sugarspun Marketing and the social media faculty chair at MarketMotive. Thanks for joining me for part 2 in our series on Introduction to Social Media Marketing. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the various social media channels. It's important to understand sort of the overall landscape, both in terms of which sites are really the major players, but also in what types of social media sites exist out there. One of the first ones that I want to hit is actually one of the most overlooked forms of social media. We get really concerned about the various social media channels and destinations that pop up. The Facebooks, the Twitters, the Pinterests, the Instagrams, because it's someplace tangible that we know we can go to. But the reality is that blogs are still a really important part of social media. In fact, it's probably one of the single most important parts of social media for your business. There's a lot of reasons that marketers love blogs and that blogs are so effective within social media. One of the key benefits is the fact that it gives you the potential for constant link building for your site. Getting content up on your site, getting infographics or embedded videos or any number of types of content on your site gives you the chance to attract those links and the traffic that can be spread via sharing on social media networks to really help boost the overall potential and the overall SEO value of your website. Blogs also allow you to be viewed as a resource because, again, they are part of that social media component where you have someone sharing ideas, sharing information, and doing it in an environment where feedback can be given and where social sharing can take place. It's also a soft sell. Blogs are not about saying, here's why our product is the best. Blogs are about providing supportive information and supportive content that goes along with your line of services or your line of business products and building credibility and attracting interest in your site. So again, it's a soft sell environment. Also, you can gather deep topical links, and deep links are really wonderful for your site on multiple fronts. People aren't just going to link to the front page of your blog and say, hey, here's this blog where you get great information. People tend to link to a specific article or to a specific graphic or a specific video that you've posted, along with some pretty detailed information or description of what people are going to get when they land there. So again, it's sending really good quality deep links into your site, but it's also preparing the people that click on those links for what they're going to get. So they come in with a set level of expectation, and as long as you're delivering on that front, you have a great opportunity to build a connection with people. Blogs also have the potential for RSS distribution and email subscriptions, so people can make the choice to say, I want to continue to receive your information down the line, which lets you build a long-term engagement relationship with them. And then finally, blogs are about conversation. Again, they're not about selling. They're not about saying, hey, come buy this off of me. They're about sharing information and opening that conversation up to your customer base for them to give you feedback and information. Now, blogs have a lot of potential to lead to big gains for your site. In fact, HubSpot put out a study a year or so ago that showed that companies that have blogs alongside their standard business website have an average of 55% more visitors coming into their site. Even better, they have almost 100% more inbound links coming into their site, and then they have an additional 434% more indexed pages showing up in the search results on sites like Google and Bing. Blogs have amazing potential to get your target audience into your site in an environment where you can interact with them, sell with them, get some of those minor conversion points that lead them into that conversion funnel for your ultimate sale. Now, blogs offer opportunities on multiple fronts. It can be about educating your target audience, letting them know what you have, how you use your products, why people would even be interested in your products. It's about motivating, building that brand association, building the lifestyle association around your brand. But it's also about letting people congregate. It's about letting the people who like what you have to offer, like what you have to say, come and connect with each other in an environment where they're not just engaging and interacting with you, but they can also engage and interact with each other. Now, since we started off talking about blogging, it makes sense to move into the world of microblogging next. And a lot of people aren't familiar with the concept of microblogging, even though they do know most of the popular sites that are microblogging services. So basically, microblogging is the option for people to tell you what they're thinking, to just share their ideas and their thoughts in a short snippet easy environment. Usually these are sentence length or maybe one couple of sentence length posts. They're social. They involve the ability of people to choose to follow you so that they can receive whatever updates you post. And it's a sharing system. It's basically a broadcast medium that allows you to get your message out to a wide range of people. Now, the current king of microblogging is a site that most of you will be familiar with, and that would be Twitter. It has the largest user base of all the microblogging services, the strongest app choices, meaning all the various ways that you can connect with Twitter and interact with Twitter. It's got some great network integration that really lets you go and use some of the specialty tools like a TweetDeck or a Hootsuite. And it's also got some of the best search functionality. Twitter does an amazing job of letting you go in and not only look for specific topics or hashtags or users, but also go in and narrow things down by what people are saying within a specific time frame, or looking at a geographical area and seeing what conversations are happening in that geographical area. Now, the king of overlooked microblogging is another site that most people don't really associate with microblogging, even though that's what it is, but that would be Tumblr. Tumblr is sort of a mashup between a Twitter-type service and a WordPress-type blogging service, but it's also huge. It's very popular with the younger crowd, the high school, college age, and then some of sort of the tech geeky crowd from the older age ranges. Basically, if you're trying to figure out what Tumblr is, you need to take the concept of Twitter and the concept of Pinterest and kind of mash it up together and hand it over to the younger crowd. It's a very image-focused environment, but it is also set up as an environment where people can publish snippets of text and snippets of information. It's basically a one-off, here's my thought or here's my input, just like you would have with Twitter, but with much more multimedia integration added into it. Now, how Tumblr differs from blogging, because there's a lot of people that get a little confused on this. When we look at generalized blogging, people are usually posting researched articles or commentary or things that go a little more in depth, whereas Tumblr, again, is a little more Twitter style, just quick blurbs, quick thoughts, or quick images. With WordPress, we're seeing integrated photos showing up within the bigger context of a blog post. On Tumblr, a lot of times a post is nothing but a single image with no commentary, or a single video or audio file with no commentary. On WordPress, again, we have the commentary. That's one of the biggest differences. And on Tumblr, we have what are called reblogs, which are similar to a retweet or a repin. So someone may post a single photo to their Tumblr, and all the people who come in and view it say, hey, that's a great photo. So they reblog it, which basically broadcasts that photo out on their site as well, sometimes with commentary, usually without it. When we're talking about blogs, it tends to be a little more polished. It's edited. People put a little more time and thought into it. And Tumblr's more about the raw content. It's more about getting it out there as quick and dirty and grubby as you can, just to have it out there and let people have access to it. Now, when we look at social networks and social networking, a lot of times people can figure this one out pretty easily. Social networking are the sites that allow us to connect with the people we know, and sometimes with the people that we haven't met yet, and to see how those connections sort of mesh out across the world, sort of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing. It's hand-chosen connections. It's access to an extended network of people and to broadcast not just to the people you're directly connected with, but also to the people that your friends are connected with. It's about broadcasting and receiving from that network and having the ability to sort of expand who you're connected with. Now, when we break down social networking, there's sort of the consumer social networking side and the business social networking side. And on the consumer side, the king of social networking is clearly Facebook. With over 1 billion users and a intensely socialized focus, this is where people go when they go on the internet now. This is where people go to connect with people, to get their news, to share information, to ask questions. Actually, it is the most visited site on the web, and it makes up the greatest majority of page views that are taking place on the web as well. And ginormous user base, great categorization controls, which basically means that even if you're connected to a lot of people, you can actually group people and set it up so that when you make a status update or you post a picture, you can decide which subset of your friends is going to be able to view it. And again, this is sort of where social sharing kind of really came into its own. And when people talk about social sharing, Facebook is the site that they tend to think of most. People saying, hey, this is a great article I just read, or here's this great sale I just had, or again, going in and just sharing generalized images and thoughts and the things that they like. Now, on the business side of social networking, LinkedIn is the reigning champ. LinkedIn originated as sort of a dynamic resume, a place that you could go online and put your job history, your experience, and have it be accessible to people all across the web. But it's morphed into this great networking setup that allows you to add all of your connections and be able to see what's going on with both your connections and the people that they're connected to. So it becomes sort of an online Rolodex. And the great thing about it is that you don't just have access to your Rolodex, but you can actually sort of flip through the Rolodexes of all the people you're connected with, which is great for requesting introductions or sort of moving down the line. There's also a lot of topical groups here where you can join groups based on interest or geography or professional association, and you can share thoughts and ideas and resources with people. It's a great place to get some corporate inroads. It's a great place for sales teams to go and connect with people, for C-level people and for managers and for technical people to go in and research the people that they're thinking about hiring, or to ask business-related questions and get feedback from other like-minded business types. Another popular form of social media channel is the media sharing social media channel. When we talk about media sharing, we're talking about sites like YouTube and Pinterest and Instagram, the places where people are going to post videos and photos and various forms of media that go beyond simple text. When we look at a site like YouTube, one of the largest and oldest social media sites on the web, it's integrated heavily into universal search. YouTube is owned by Google. Google goes out into YouTube and looks for search results that they can mix in with their standard website-based and text-based search results to get that information out to people. It's got the ability to embed videos, so you don't just have to go to YouTube to watch a video. Anybody that sees a video on YouTube can pull a quick snippet of code. They can embed it into a Facebook page, into a tweet, into a blog post, anywhere. So it's very movable and shareable. The social sharing that's attached with YouTube makes it extremely easy for people to do this. You go to YouTube, you watch a video, and there's all sorts of quick little access buttons that basically let you take that video wherever it is that you go to interface with people on the web. Now, in terms of leveraging YouTube, there's a lot of potential. Going in and doing research to see what keywords are people searching for, who are the influencers within specific channels, and is it worth trying to pitch something to them? What topics get a lot of video views and get a lot of feedback? Going in and figuring out how to optimize your content. You can optimize the headlines of your videos to help increase the chances that you're going to show up in search. You can optimize the description, the tags. You can integrate URLs and great targeted links and landing pages right into your description and your content. So it gives you the ability to convert people. Because again, you can add those links, you can actually add call to action overlays on your video, and you can remind people or even incentivize people to go out and share that video to help it spread around the web. Now, in terms of Pinterest, for those of you who might not be quite as familiar with Pinterest yet, because it's still sort of an up-and-coming, although it is fast becoming a very, very strong social media site, Pinterest is essentially a web-based inspiration board. It gives people the chance to collect ideas and links and images from around the web, categorize them by topic, and share them with other people who are interested in the same topic. It's basically a gateway site. It's not really a destination site where you go and spend hours and hours and hours. It's where you go to access the images and the links of the things that interest you and to save content and save ideas for later visits. The average time on site for Pinterest is about 90 minutes per month. And it's really viewed as a starting point. It's where people go to say, hey, I'm looking for some recipes today. I'm looking for something new that I haven't discovered before, that I haven't seen before. It's a collection. It's where people say, these are the best of contents and ideas and images around this one particular topic. It's also viewed as an inspiration platform. It's that place that people go when they're looking to kill a little bit of time while they're standing in line, or when they've got, 5 free minutes before they have their next meeting and they just want to go let their brain relax somewhere for a little bit. Basically, it's a great site for attracting your fans because people go there with a very open-minded purpose, saying, I'm looking to discover something new. So if you can get people to share your content there, or if you can get involved in a way that you can share your content as well as some other people's content and become viewed as a resource, it's a great, great, great opportunity to get your great content in front of new people who might not already be familiar with it. Now, in terms of Instagram and understanding Instagram, it's basically a mobile photo-based social network. The entire purpose of Instagram is people taking pictures with their mobile phones and uploading them and tagging them with, specific topics or ideas and sharing them. So think of it as the picture-fied version of Twitter. It's got the opportunity for businesses to come in and set up hashtags for different campaigns, or for people to create their own hashtags around specific ideas, and for people to go in and, again, either connect with the people that they've chosen to connect with, or to connect via those hashtags to say, I want to see what food pictures people have posted today, or I want to see what pictures people who are at the Olympics have posted and uploaded to Instagram. It's basically one of the newer forces in social media that sort of reiterates that shift that we're having around this time frame to more image-based social media interactions. It's the chance to connect people visually based on relationships, topics, hashtag campaigns. So it's mashing up that mobile, so I'm not tied to my computer, I can do it anywhere I am, which means I have far more time and ability to access it, with that visual, because I don't have to take the time to read anything, I can just at a glance tell exactly what someone's talking about. To mash those two things together with that social media concept of I'm going to connect with people based on my existing relationships, but also based on the shared interests that I might find that I have with new people. Now, another area of social media channels that I want to talk about is the idea of social reviews. Much like blogs, this is another one of those areas that is extremely relevant, is extremely important, but isn't quite as sexy as Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook or Twitter, so there's not quite as much focus and conversation around it. But social review sites are basically what allows people to go in and get that feedback based on the products, the services, the locations, whatever it is they're looking for, to say, hey, did someone else like this? And thus, what are the chances that I'm going to like it? There are tons of different social review sites, tons and tons and tons, and there's a lot of different subsets of focus for social review sites. For example, there's sites that review restaurants and retail stores like Yelp and like City Search and Google Places that will allow people to go in and share their opinion and rate restaurants and say, here's what my experience was like. There are sites that do reviews of service providers, care.com, Angie's List, several different ones that let you go in and say, hey, here's what I'm looking for. There are sites that let you review travel destinations, airlines, hotels, resorts, destinations, tourist spots, that you can go in and see what did people enjoy, where did they like staying, and why did they like it or why didn't they like it. There are millions of sites out there that let you go in and see product reviews and get specific feedback on specific items to know what are the downsides of it, what are the plus sides of it. Then even things like movies and TV shows, there are plenty of sites out there where people are collectively coming in and saying, here's my opinion on this, here's what I thought of this. It's important to keep in mind throughout all of this social media that you can't be everywhere. Even if you're a mega corporation, there's always going to be some social media site out there that your ginormous staff of social media experts is not going to have the time to be on. And if you're a smaller or a mid-sized company, this is definitely going to be the case because you only have so much time in the day. The truth is, you don't need to be on all of them. You need to be on the ones that are the best fit for you and that are delivering enough of an impact to justify the time you're spending there. In fact, being on too many channels can actually hurt you, especially if you're one of these smaller or medium-sized companies, because now you're taking the limited resources you have and you're stretching them thin enough across multiple sites that none of your efforts are going to be able to deliver on a level that's going to justify your time investment there. So as we move forward through this class and we start to look at the different channels and we start to look at the different marketing techniques, it's very important to have that realistic understanding of what it is you're looking to accomplish and which of these social media channels and tactics are going to be the best fit for you in order to make sure that you're getting a great return on your investment. Coming up in part 3 of the series, we're going to look at the impact of social media on brand, the impact of social media on engagement, and then also the impact of social media on conversion. Thanks so much for joining me for part 2 in this series. I look forward to having you back for part 3.